Race number 5 at Ascot. It's over the 1400 metres mark. The replay horse that we're going to take a look at has genuine Saturday form lines.
Really does, Adam. Probably should have won a couple of more races, arguably. We speak, of course, of Mr. Undercover. Let's have a look at its last start run, running third behind Top of the Class and Karliki Miss.
Followed by Top of the Class in the straight though. Karliki Miss challenged by Hoboken. They go by the 200. He took a look over the right shoulder, went for home. Karliki Miss in front. Here's Top of the Class coming from the back of the field with 100 left to go. She's mowing them down. Top of the Class raced up to Karliki Miss, put pay to her. That's a fantastic performance first up from the tail. Great.
Really good performance there by Mr. Undercover. We've talked about this horse a little bit, that it just needs to find a weaker race, and it gets it here. Top of the Class lost no admirers on the weekend. Karliki Miss has won since. So there's a lot of positives there. These form, I mean, Humanity I think is going to be a genuine Saturday horse, but outside of those, there's not too many that I think are going to really stamp their authorities. So in a weaker race, with hopefully a little bit of luck from Barrier 1 and plenty of options, this is its best chance of breaking its maiden status.
The draw's the key, isn't it, Adam? We saw it get a very similar run in that replay we saw, and then popped up along the inside and held on to third. So it was a really nice effort. Can do the same again. Humanity you mentioned as well. Second up out to 1400 metres after first up 1,000. We saw this last preparation as well. It was 1,000 metres first up in that hot Bunbury race, which Iron Boudica won. And then, of course, out to 1,600 metres. And Paul Harvey just had to lead on that occasion because the horse was just towing him into the race from such a long way out. The step up in distance doesn't bother me. I think he's a really nice hope in this.
Best bet of the day for mine. I think that first up run, I think Lindsay Smith just went, do we just go around in a race or do we go to a trial? They decided to go in a race. It was a genuine Saturday race. They dropped back, tapped line strongly. I think you would have ticked every box that you wanted to see. Drawn in 6 now. Aaron Mitchell on board with the 60.5 kilos here. I just think it's the best horse in the race and it should be winning, and up to the 14 is ideal.
Ever is ready quickly as well. Just behind Kimbo's Girl last week. It ran on okay. I think we may have expected a little bit more, but it was a day where you needed to be on the speed.
Yeah, it was. Look, the first up win we mentioned was good, but it wasn't great. It's just that the horse got in the battle and won. But there's a couple of question marks around this galloper, and I think last start, as you said, having to go back and run on isn't going to suit, and they're going to have to do the same again here from Barrier 10. So I think when you've got a horse like Humanity out in front, they're not going to be making up that distance. So Humanity is the best bet for me on the card at number 1 from number 9 Friar Dancer, number 3 in Ever Is Ready, and 7 Mr. Undercover.
One of the better plays on the card for myself as well. Number 1 Humanity on top, from 3 Ever Is Ready, 7 Mr. Undercover, and 4 Rising Sea.
Race number 6, it's over the 1400 metres, and Mark, the replay horse that we're taking a look at. It was a long time between drinks, but it was well deserved.
It was indeed. Black Grape we speak of. Let's have a look at that performance.
Scandal, a length and a half. Zynite down on the rail. Radiant Girl Capanda there going for runs against the cutaway. Black Scandal went to Harry Thomas inside the 150. Radiant Girl Capanda behind them. Black Scandal, Harry Thomas fighting back. Hodgepodge getting home. So's Black Grape. Harry Thomas shook off Black Scandal from Black Grape deep out, who dived at it. They went to the post.
Well, it was a final ride for Chrissy Parnham before he took a bit of a break and had his surgery, and he was able to get the job done here for trainer Nick Cox. This horse has really deserved it. Genuine turn of foot. He's really going to appreciate the conditions on a Wednesday as well. I said earlier on, you want to be on the speed. I think Black Grape's one of them that can get back and run on strongly and win a race like this.
Of course, Nick Cox said after that win as well, he'll appreciate getting back to Belmont for the fact that he will get Sting out of the track. He may well get that here at Ascot on Wednesday as well. So there's another really good chance as well, Adam. There's another couple of other chances in Hinchinville. Hinchinville was scratched at the barriers last start in a Saturday race. It just got cast in the barriers and the vets decided to give him that race off, and I'm guessing Ross Price, whose team's going very well at the moment, would have put the work into his legs. I think he can lead all the way here, and Aaron Mitchell's just so good at rating them out in front.
Inconsistent, this horse, but his best form is good enough to win a race like that. It's as simple as that. From Barrier 1, as you mentioned, I think they roll forward. They get into a nice position and just dictate terms. Aaron Mitchell's in as good as form as anyone, so this is a race that should be going very close in.
Also got in there Yora Rumman from the Steve Wolf Yard. It's never placed at the track, but we know this horse's ability. He's another one really looking forward to seeing back at Belmont.
Yeah, this is a horse that, I mean, it was racing with some of the better horses going around, and we thought it was going to be a real superstar. Hasn't shown it. They've gone to Albany, haven't had much luck, but it just seems to be building. I think the 1400 metres is ideal here and can play a part, but I'm going to go with our replay horse, number 8, Black Grape, on top. From number 9, Fireman Freddy. It's got, well, it beat Elite Flight last start. Number 1, Hinchinville, and 4, Yora Rumman.
1 Hinchinville on top for me. I think Aaron Mitchell can control the race from the front. Ahead of number 9, Fireman Freddy. 8, Black Grape, and 4, Yora Rumman.
Race number 7 at Ascot. It's over the 2200 metres mark. The replay horse we're taking a look at. I've said since the first up run, just keep watching. The further ground this horse gets, the better it'll get. We saw it last start. It's going to love the 2200.
Yeah, flashed home last start. We speak of Hot Bracer, of course. Let's have a look at that third from last start.
Corner, 300 metres to go. Bell Montgomery, a length and a half clear. Little Miss Mac over on the outside. Adorenza followed further back. Scandium. Reef Keeper's got the job in front of it with 150 to go. And Little Miss Mac levelled up to Bell Montgomery. They've got it between themselves. Hot Breezer from last is rattling home when it's all over. But Little Miss Mac has surged clear late. And Little Miss Mac got home.
Flashing performance from this horse. Got well back, ran on strongly, and was everything you wanted to see for a horse that's now stepping up to the 2200 metres. There should be some good speed in this race, and I think from barrier 9 they won't be too far back, and I think that same turn of foot is still going to apply over the 2200 for this galloper. Plus I think it'll appreciate a bit of sting out of the ground.
Adam, we've also got in the race here a few other ones. Scandium comes out of a nice race as well, and it was wide on that occasion but just didn't have any luck. I think with a bit more luck he can run a nice race.
I think the senior jockey going on board is a really big positive. This horse just seems to be a bit of a handful for Brett Pope. Troy Turner takes the ride here. Again, another galloper now. It's had a couple of runs on the belt, will be fitter and should appreciate the step up in distance.
Of course, that was in the same race as Hot Bracer, which we just saw there. Another one which was in the same race was Saxoff, and it's just working into this prep nicely.
Yeah, I still don't know what to do with this horse. I mean, we know it's at its best. It's won some really good races, but very inconsistent as well. William Pike keeps the ride. Maybe that's a bit of a positive that he feels the horse can go okay. Some of its better runs have been when there's been rain around and sting out of the track, so that's something worth noting as well. And barrier 2, it'll get a nice run.
Adam, you're on top selections for this one?
I'm going to go with number 1, Hot Breezer from 5, I'm a Love Man, number 3, Jackpot Prince, and 9, Esperanza.
I'm sticking with those Little Miss Mac form lines as well. I've got number 10 on top though, Saxophonist out in distance from number 1, Hot Breezer, 2, Scandium, and 3, Jackpot Prince.
Final race of the day at Ascot. It's over the 1800 metres, and Mark, there are form lines from everywhere.
Yes, there are form lines from everywhere, Adam, but the strongest form lines are probably those of Tucky's Lads. Comes from a 78 plus.
In the home straight, Corporate Larrikin led the way from Woodsville. Now Northridge popped the big question. Dark Musket down near the rail from Terra Force, followed by Django. Corporate Larrikin tackled by Woodsville. Northridge, Dark Musket, Terra Force trying to get through. Corporate Larrikin joined by Northridge. Hits the lead in the shadows, Northridge, and does just a little too well. Northridge...
A good performance on that occasion, considering the way you see that this horse has stepped up through the grades. It was a race that it really didn't want to win because it would have been penalised so many points that it would have been hard to win again. They drop back down now to a weaker race here. Draw barrier 3. I don't think the 59.5 kilos is an issue at all. This horse has shown that it can continue to run on strongly and always gives 100%.
Nor is the extra distance, Adam, out to 1800 metres by Oratorio out of a Jeune mare. Of course, Jeune won the Melbourne Cup, so they're staying bloodlines there, and I think might actually be suited out to 1800 metres and might be able to just grind away a little bit better than a few of these other ones in the race. Prize Catch was a nice effort last start. Of course, Bell Montgomery as well surprised a few punters. Adam, Little Miss Mac, we saw the replay of that before the last race. That was a nice win as well, and she'll only get better going through the preparation. Yeah,
she will. I think it was a really good performance, and as Sean O'Donnell said post-race, not much of her, but plenty of heart. They put the claimer on here, so have to be a chance again. Prize Catch is an interesting one. Basically said after that Saturday, wherever it went next, it would win. It went to Northern, met a pretty average field, got the job done, but I wasn't entirely convinced by the performance that it's going to win a lot more, but this is definitely a winnable race.
One to keep an eye out heading in towards Belmont, Adam, and over a bit more ground, of course, is Press the Petal. They've got a bit of big opinion of this filly. I think she may have had a few issues as well with feet, which is why she hasn't made it to the track thus far. But I think first up, she could show something and get even better as the preparation goes on.
Well, we've seen her race in the bigger races as a 3-year-old. 1800 metres first up, no issues with this. The Durant camp will have her firing and ready to go, and she does have a genuine turn of foot. I think she'll be winning some good races and winning a few at Belmont as well. But I'm going to go with number 1 here, Tucky's Lad, from 2 Black Frida, 5 Capricorn Dancer, and 8 Little Miss Mac.
1 Tucky's Lad on top for me too, from number 2 Black Frida, 8 Little Miss Mac, and 4 Bell Montgomery.
Time now to turn our attention to the best bets of the card, and I'm hoping that number 1 is the lucky one. I'm going with race 5, number 1, Humanity, and race 7, number 1, Hot Breezer.
As am I, Adam. Race 5, number 1, Humanity for me as well, and race 8, number 1, Tucky's Lad.
As we do say, you can follow us on social media. You can see them on screen at the moment, our YouTube channel, and also perthracing.com.au with plenty of events coming up. On behalf of both of us, hopefully we found you plenty of winners.